All right. It's loading up. Gonna be live with it. Let y'all know. But be prepared to be live. All right, we back with the shits. Welcome back. Welcome back. All right, so you know how we do every week, you know what I'm saying? We not sponsored, but we holding, I'm holding out a different bid. So this week's bid is the boot. It's I by Ibita. You can only buy this. They only make it in Louisiana. You can only buy it in Louisiana. So shout out to them. I will point me up another one. Shout out to Half Ass Beers too / Big Ass Beers on Bourbon Street. You know what I'm saying? Pretty soon coming to you real soon. Good if it goes live from Bourbon Street at a Saints game real soon. So shout out to Quan. He gonna make that happen for us real quick. Like
I'm there.
Even better than that. Even better than that. Saturday at Death Valley.
hey, that's cool too. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, yeah, we can make that drive to Baton Rouge, hit Death Valley, and then come on right down the road, you know what I'm saying, the old Superdome, you know what I'm saying, check it out. So shout out to
Packers Saints week 1, Jordan Love versus James Winston. Let's go.
Let's go.
Make it happen.
Jordan Love season, baby.
Over under 15 total interceptions.
All in. Jordan Love season. Let's go. Love it.
All right, so we back. All right, so we did a little Western Conference talk, talk about my Mavs. Shout out my Mavs. Check them out tonight. Okay, so the next series in the West we'll talk about is another very interesting series, but it's like everybody's scared to talk about it. Lakers Suns. Game 2 is tonight. A lot of us had the Lakers, in that final. We talked about it a little bit. I personally, I picked Denver in the beginning of the season, but with the Jamal Murray injury, I rescinded my pick based on how the playoffs unfolded because I thought Denver was equipped to take down LA. I'll talk about them more when we talk about their series. DJ, what you thinking? Take it away. I'm gonna go get me another debut while you discuss Lakers and Suns. So I'll be right back.
So for Lakers Sun, LeBron teams sometimes lose game 1. Everybody panic. Then they come back and win like 4 out of the next 5 or 4 out of the next 6. And then it is what it is. I don't see nothing changing from this series. The thing that's going to be interesting is that Chris Paul, I mean, he always hurt when his team need him. And right now, we don't know what he's going to be. I've never seen Chris Paul not being able to handle the ball. And this guy was out there like when they took the powers from the guys on Space Jam. That's how Chris Paul was out there dribbling the ball. Like he could not hold on to the ball, and so it's gonna be very important for them to be able to do things and not depend on Chris Paul because all that his toughness inspired us. All that crap going out the window. Like it's gonna be like scoring. And then Anthony Davis, I mean, he's another one that we don't know, man. Like, although he did have a good bubble last year, but he also had like a bunch of clunkers. And so Anthony Davis versus DeAndre Ayton, and they got to figure out how they gonna guard Devin Booker because if you got guys out there playing smart, good basketball and making open shots, all that double team stuff is gonna be a wrap because they don't really got nobody that can do nothing with Devin Booker.
Right.
But all that being said, I still got like I don't know whatever I said Lakers in 6. The Suns got to beat them. It's not going to just happen. The Suns have to like take control of the game and be aggressive, just like they did in Game 1. Like they got to do the same thing, and and they got to show up. They got to like the Lakers not going to just fold. And so I got Lakers in 6 or whatever I said.
You had them at 5. You want to change your pick?
No, 5. Skip it. Leave it at 5.
All right. Kevin, you had Suns at 7. What was your thinking?
My thinking was the Lakers have been banged up during the season. I don't think outside of LeBron and AD and DJ was right. AD's had some clunkers in the playoffs before. LeBron, while he's still a great player, is not the LeBron of 5 years ago. I don't think it's just a matter of, okay, everybody hop on my back and here we go. And they're going to have to seriously contend with Booker, with CP3, with DeAndre Ayton. Now, the wild card here is Chris Paul's injury status, so we're going to have to see how that one goes. But I still like Suns in 6 or 7. I'll stay with that 7.
Shane, you had Lakers in 6, just like me. Talk to me.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with it, but I'm not going to lie. I mean, I don't feel as good about it. For the first thing the Lakers need to do, and I consider Vogel he's a fine coach. He's not bad. He's not great. He's fine. Put Drummond on the fucking bench. He cannot play. This is not 1985. He has no business playing in this series. None. Bench him. You have to go with AD at the 5 and then roll out your smaller lineups. Like, I don't know what is the thinking there. This guy can barely make it up and down the court. I cannot stand watching the guy play basketball. Nothing personal. I just do not want to watch him play basketball. Seriously. The Lakers just looked like lethargic on Sunday. They were lazy getting back on defense. How many open looks did Phoenix have? I mean, it was just and like, I'm not even going to give the Lakers a pass as, okay, well, you come off the emotional game against the Warriors. I mean, they played on Sunday. The Warriors Lakers game was Wednesday night. You had a short flight to Phoenix. Like, that's no excuse. Yeah. The Chris Paul thing is a big deal. Like, we know he's going to play, but how effective is he going to be? If he's not going to be effective, then the Suns don't have much of a chance at all. If he's, okay, if he's good to go, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm not trying to overreact to game ones, especially against a LeBron James team, because we've seen this before. But I don't know. Like, I'm just not a fan of some of these moves the Lakers made. I was never a fan of Schroeder. I really wasn't. I know, like, he can be a good
why the shooter hate? Gotta ask you that, Mike.
Good if it goes jam. Find out tomorrow.
I mean, I just don't think he's that good. Like, he's inconsistent. I mean, he just doesn't, like, I liked what Rondo brought in a playoff series more than I think what I like Schroeder is going to give them. Like, I don't think he sucks. I just don't think I don't know. If you're going to be counting on guys like, Drummond and Kyle Kuzma and Wes Matthews to give you, like, you need guys, like, don't forget, like, AD and LeBron in the bubble were obviously fantastic, but how good was KCP? Like, he didn't get any love because obviously we know where it's going to go, but in the bubble, KCP was 100% the Lakers' third best player. Like, they're going to need him again to get off. Like, man, you win a championship, role players have to step up. It's just, you're not going to win if they don't. And I mean, I'm just kind of wondering, like, where's it going to come from the Lakers now? If LeBron and AD aren't, the best they can be every single game, who's going to step up? Who is that Lakers third guy that you really trust right now that can get you buckets, that can help you on defense, that can make the winning plays? Who is it?
I don't know if they have one.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know who that is. Maybe KCP again? Like, it's
Kuzma, Caruso.
I mean, yeah, like, I don't know. I just don't.
They don't have a J.R. Smith. They don't have a Andre Iguodala. They don't have,
Right. Like, I'm just wondering where it's going to come from.
They've got some guys that are just guys.
Like, AD was pretty bad on Sunday, and LeBron was Like, I don't think LeBron was bad, but he didn't play too good. Like, in order for the Lakers to win a championship, you're going to need great LeBron, right? Like, we know that. West is a tough conference. And Phoenix is a really good team too. Like, that's the thing that's kind of, everybody wants the storyline. Everybody wants the storyline to be, AD didn't step up. Is it AD's fault? Is AD going to get the blame? Is LeBron losing his step? Are the Lakers role players not doing this? How about, I'll say this, if Phoenix wins this series, they're going to the finals. I think they're They're that good, and obviously like this all kind of plays on Chris Paul's shoulder too. But if they are able to get past the Lakers, which I still think is a tall task, which I still don't think is going to happen, I just think the Lakers at the end will win 4. But if they do it, I'm not picking anybody in the West over them. That's a really good roster.
I don't trust Chris Paul's shoulder, man.
That's the $1 million question right now.
Yeah.
And we'll find out in a couple hours, because if he's not 100%, they're not going to win this series.
Yep.
And that would be a shame. Like, I'm rooting for I'd like to see LeBron get another one, but I don't want to see it go down. I don't want to see Chris Paul go down like this again, because I hate to be revisionist here, but if his hamstring doesn't blow in what was it, 2017, Houston is winning that series.
And we can even go back to the Lob City days, man. So
sure, yeah, he's had some bad injury luck at the worst times.
All right, we're gonna shift gears to my original finals pick. I've been on the Nets since the beginning of the season, but I like the Nuggets coming out the West in the beginning of the year. I talked about them a little bit on part 1. So going back to our chart, everybody except for Kevin picked the Nuggets. So Kevin, you had Blazers in 7. If I didn't pick the Nuggets in 5, like if I were going to pick the Blazers, I would have picked Blazers in 7. So talk about that a little bit, Kevin.
I went with Dame. I went with CJ, and I don't know if the Nuggets have just those top guys that are going to be consistently great every night. We've seen Dame and CJ put up great playoff performances before. I thought the series as a whole was a coin toss, and I went with them to do it one more time.
Okay. DJ, you and Shane both picked Nuggets in 6. I took them at 5. Tell me your reasoning.
For me, it was a toss-up too. I just liked how the Nuggets was playing going into the playoffs. I feel like the Blazers got a very good starting 5. I feel like they have a great starting 5 actually, but it's just that games like yesterday showed me like they just, I don't know, man. Like they got all that talent and it's not good. Nurkic getting fouled out early. Nobody came with Dame and CJ. I don't know what Powell was doing. And that type of stuff scared me because Dame could go crazy, but it's nobody else there. Whereas Jokic going crazy is going to be involving other guys and making the game easier for other guys. Dame going crazy don't make the game easier for other guys. It just putting points on the board and put you in a position to win, but he's going to need somebody to go with him. So coming into this, if you told me that the Blazers won, I'd be like, okay, because I really, really like their starting 5. But I picked the Nuggets because of how they was playing and because of games like yesterday where, like, the Blazers just play stupid. They got all that talent, but they just play stupid. Either they don't defend at all. I think they got the number 2 offense and the number 29 defense, and it constantly shows up. And then it's like, I don't know, like if Dame is that hot, your best player is that hot, you think y'all should be in a better position. But other than CJ, man, guys was just out there, and they too talented for that. But like we have seen them do that. Like that year they went to the Western Conference Finals and they got swept. They ain't even like they was just looking like they was happy to be there. Like getting swept is one thing, but like not even being competitive is another. And I don't know. It's too many times where that Blazer team just be out there, and so that's why I picked the Nuggets.
Shane, thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I really didn't have a great feel on this series. I just think Denver's got the best player in the series, and like we saw last night, Lillard can go absolutely insane and they still lose. I don't think I don't know. Like I feel like now this series is a straight toss up, but at no point like did I ever want to wager on it. At no point have I ever like felt strong. I had kind of just defaulted to, Denver as the best player in the series. That's who I would roll with. That's who I think he'll get them 4 wins.
Yeah, and the West is so like that Jamal Murray thing really changed the whole outlook of the entire West because
Yeah.
like you don't really trust none of these teams, to be honest. Like we think the Lakers are going to do it because they have still like one of the greatest players ever, but it's like everybody else is still like missing something. And we don't believe in none of the teams in the West. But if the Nuggets had Murray, we would definitely be talking like, hey, the Nuggets gonna get them all they can handle. And so like the West is like really, really weird right now. And that series, like you said, Shane, is a toss up.
Yeah, with
I don't know if in today's NBA, I understand what Shane was saying about them having the best player in the series. I just don't know if in today's NBA, the big man's leading a team like that. I mean, I think he deserves MVP certainly, but
yeah, but he's more than a big man. Like he can do everything.
Right.
Like he facilitates, he can step out and shoot. Like he impacts the game. That's why like, guys like him and Embiid are so fun to watch because they're not just bigs that just, they're just going to bury you on the block. They do so much for their teams that it's fun to watch. And I see your point and I understand what you're saying, but I don't know. Like I think this is a straight toss up. I wouldn't be nothing at this point in that series would really surprise me.
All right, y'all. One more series, which before game one, I thought this was gonna be the series we was gonna have to talk about the least. It's interesting. It's the last one. Grizzlies Jazz, man. Definitely an upset in game one. I mean, I think Dylan Brooks can score with some of the best of them when he's hot. I've seen it. John Morant, though, man, like if you're not on his train by now, it's like I don't know. Like he showed out in his first playoff game. Shane, I'm kicking back to you. Jazz Grizzlies. Before I let you get into it, we all took the Jazz in either 5. Schwab, you had the Jazz sweeping, so you out of there. And I'm not really feeling good about any of our picks. The rest of us had them in 5. So Shane, I'm gonna kick it over to you.
Look,
bro.
Donovan Mitchell's coming back for game 2. He really, and you know what I think what happened too is they just kind of figured, all right, we can win without you. So just chill, let that ankle relax a little bit. And it's like, oh, wait a minute. Now we just lost. Now we need you to get your ass back out there. I hate the Jazz. Let me be very clear. I hate this pretty much everything about Utah. I hate Rudy Gobert. He should have been deported. He should have been deported after the COVID incident. I'm just not. But I don't think Memphis has enough. Like I'm with you. The Morant Brooks thing is awesome, and it's a fun, young up and coming duo that's gonna get better and better. That's a nice roster, but I still think, maybe this goes one more game now. Maybe it's the Jazz in 6, but I would not be the least bit surprised if the Jazz just rolled off the next 4. I think it was just kind of something that just caught him by surprise, and I'm not anticipating, this turning into like a throwback, like a Golden State Dallas from 2007, where the 8 seed goes and beats the 1. Yeah, I'm not. I can't get there with that. I just don't think Memphis has enough. But fuck Utah though.
Kevin. Kevin, you felt confident.
I didn't think Memphis had nearly enough to hang with Utah. Thought they were at least a year away from that. But yeah, they turned in a really great performance in game 1, and I think it's going 6 now. I think they'll steal one more. Ultimately, talent wins out, and it's going to be Utah, but they're at least going to make them earn it, make it interesting.
DJ?
Yeah, I agree. I think the Grizzlies are a very fun team. They got a lot of young talent. Jaren Jackson Jr., who I think is going to be a really good player. He hasn't even like rounded back to form, coming off basically being hurt like the whole year, and so they got a lot of talent. But I feel like Utah. I think I just seen the stat on the day of the game. They set a record like 17 threes a game or something, 16 threes a game. That's what they average, and so they got two guys that was up for six man of the year, both giving you like 17, 18 points off the bench. And so Utah got a lot of talent. And even when Donovan Mitchell mentioned missing the last, I think, 15 games, they didn't drop in the standings, which lets you know that they still can play. I agree with Shane, Rudy Gobert, get him out of here. Every playoffs he get cooked. Valanciunas was looking like a king. Yeah, the last game, and he was just out there making those stupid faces he be making, screen assists. Like I don't really like nothing about Utah, and I hope Donovan Mitchell leaves. But with that being said, I still like the Jazz to win this series.
Well, I like them too. If it goes 6, I wouldn't be surprised. I think Ja Morant is just showing his worth. Um, man, that was you talk about going from an unknown to a star literally in 2 years. Ja Morant was an unknown, and I watch college basketball. Shane, you watch college basketball. Like Kevin, you watch college basketball. DJ, you watch college basketball in March. But I think before that March, hardly any of us even knew about this guy. If you pay a lot of attention to, the scouting boards, he was moving up, he was trending up. But it was all Zion and RJ. And this dude is just really proving his worth. I always said his game was like a mix of like a Westbrook / a Iverson, but a much better shooter than both of them. And man, like Iverson was worth one win in the NBA Finals against a juggernaut Lakers. Ja Morant might be worth 2 wins against a Utah Jazz team without Donovan Mitchell or with a hurt Donovan Mitchell.
I'm impressed with how, like, for somebody that's so athletic too, how under control he plays too. Like, you remember like young Rose and Westbrook. Like, they were freak athletes, but like in their real young days, there'd be times where they kind of go too fast and play like a little bit out of control. And obviously, Rose kind of like quickly learned how to really play and turn into what he was. But Morant, like, for being so young, like he's always under control. It's really impressive. I mean, he just when he gets a more consistent jump shot and he's starting to get there, like, sky's the limit. And this is like, man, this, people want to complain about, the ratings of the NBA and this, that, the NBA problem is the regular season largely sucks because there's not a whole lot to play for. Like, seeding doesn't matter, right? Like, it truly doesn't matter anymore. But when you look at like the landscape of the young talent in the league, all the guys we just talked about, Morant, Dillon Brooks, Trae Young, Luka, like there's so much good young talent that, like, you can kind of feel the changing of the guard, like LeBron's only got so much time left. Like, some of these guys are like poised to make that takeover, and it's fun to watch.
Yeah, for sure. No, I agree. And as we look at one of our young stars in the league get pummeled, 98-74, referring to Jason Tatum, who only has 9 points tonight, by the way. Let's see. Points bet tonight, Shane. And for more bets, tune in to me and Shane Thursday nights for now on Good If It Goes Better. Me and DJ were looking at a couple bets tonight. What was it? Plus 180 for 80 points between the three guys, Kyrie, Harden, and Durant.
Yeah.
It was plus 180. It was boosted from like plus 140, I think, on PointsBet. Shout out to PointsBet. We need their young sponsorship. And what else? But the other night I caught them for 70, and it was minus 115, 70 between those three. It hit. I think, DJ, what you said, they had 82 the other night or something like that?
Yeah, 82, I think, yeah.
Yeah. So, these guys are going off again.
We will touch on the subject you just brought on our next show, but be very, very careful making those kind of bets, because if you beat them and you take advantage of them, They will limit you and they will ban you.
What I just tell you today, DJ. The bet the other day for 70 points is only $50.
Yeah.
They will
max.
they will
Tonight
limit
for 80
you
points is
quickly.
$100. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We will.
So
This
we'll
is
talk about
something. This is something me and Mike will really touch. It's a very. It's a sensitive subject for me, and I will explain in full why those bets they can be very scummy.
All right, well, we're gonna shift gears here. This is the segment we like to call Unmute the White Guy. I'm gonna play some music that I don't own the rights to. Get into this NHL action. Yeah, let's go. Oh, it's another playoff going on, Schwab. Let's get it.
It's
Hurry
actually
up.
been a little disappointing this year just because I'm looking at the bracket right now. I see teams that could win the cup. And normally it's the NBA that we look at. It's like, okay, it's going to be at least until the second round before the playoffs really start. And we start to see some of these marquee matchups. And this year, I mean, we just went through how many series that are shaping up to be great series. And the script's been flipped now in the NHL. Colorado swept St. Louis. I think they can make a run. Vegas and Minnesota are in a battle right now. Vegas is up 3-2 on them. So looking ahead to a potential Colorado-Vegas series. I think those are the two teams best equipped to win the whole thing, and we're looking at that as a second rounder. None of the Canadian teams really stand out to me. Maybe Toronto if they get Tavares back. Winnipeg, and I'm still not totally sold on them.
So wait, so the Avalanche play the Vegas team?
If Vegas
Vegas
beats
gotta win.
Minnesota, yeah.
So I'm looking at knowing me from the betting standpoint, I'm looking at the odds right now. The Avalanche are the favorite right now at 5-2 to win it all. And the next favorite is the Golden Knights at 9-2. So it sounds like those are the two strongest teams. That makes sense.
Yeah, that's where I'm getting at here.
I can't believe Winnipeg
Winnipeg
swept Edmonton, man. Can't believe that.
I can.
Was that an upset?
I don't think it's much of one. I never believed in Mike Smith, the Edmonton goalie. McDavid can only get you so far. And we saw it last year when Edmonton played the Blackhawks in the bubble, where Edmonton was, I think, the 5th seed in 3-1 series. And
so after the Knights, then you got the Lightning are 6-1, the Bruins are 6-1, the Maple Leafs are 7-1, the Hurricanes are 12-1, Penguins are 18-1, Jets 20-1, and then the other teams are 25-1 or worse.
Yeah, the three I'm looking at is like real solid contenders. Colorado, Vegas, and Tampa. Boston,
yeah, I like the Lightning.
If Tuukka Rask can stay hot, they can make a run, and they got
not
some
another.
exciting.
We don't need another Boston championship. Jesus fuck.
No, but
Yeah.
I don't.
I'm surprised the Islanders. Well, I'm not surprised at the Islanders. I thought the Penguins were gonna give them a little bit more. So I'm a little bit surprised. Though. I thought the Penguins would be ahead at this point after 5. So
they just got to strap up their ice skates and whack the puck and whatever the fuck else, whatever they do. I don't know. I don't know shit about hockey. All I did was rattle off the odds. So I'm good. I'm good for that.
Schwab, who are your picks? Give us your picks.
Who's going to win it all, Schwab? Hurry up. End this.
I like Colorado.
Colorado
to win it all. And I think they could be really dominant for some years to come because not only do they have a really great team now, they have a super deep farm system. Their stars are young. Cale Makar is about to be one of the best players in the league. I love McKinnon. Grubauer's played out of his head this year. So if you're looking for my pick, it's Colorado.
Okay.
And I don't even see there being a real value pick if you were looking for something with some big odds that could make a run because it's really only those 3 teams I mentioned. Outside shot, like I said, Boston if Rask stays hot and if Tavares comes back in Toronto.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that. we're gonna shift gears until we do that. You'll hear more Kevin on the Big Shoulders podcast with myself, or we're gonna talk Chicago sports. We talking Bears, Bulls, Blackhawks, a little bit of Cubs and Sox here and there. Hell, you might even hear about the Chicago Fire, the Chicago Sky. You never know. So switching back, we got about 10 minutes left. So right now what we going into next, y'all?
You want to touch a little Aaron Rodgers, I think you wanted to do?
Yes. So real quick, and we got the perfect person to do it here. Shane, what's up with the QB, man? We seen the main
Nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. Nothing's changed from the last time. They're not going to trade him. He can whine. He can complain. He's got fair points for sure. But this isn't even me being a homer saying Aaron Rodgers isn't going anywhere. I've said this, and I'm being 1,000% honest with you guys. If they decided to part ways, I wouldn't even be. It's whatever. Just move on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, go ahead, go with Jordan Love, and it's going to happen eventually anyway. Just do it. But that's not going to happen this year. Aaron Rodgers will be the quarterback of the Green Bay Packers Week 1 in New Orleans. Nothing's changed. They're going to keep doing this. You know, he has zero leverage, none whatsoever, and he's not like he's not going to realistically just up and go somewhere else. He's not going to retire. He's going to play for the Packers, and that, you know, this ends with them probably giving him a shitload more money than he was going to get, and all will be forgotten. And I do believe this is probably it. Probably plays one more year in Green Bay, and that's probably it. But who knows? But he will not be the quarterback of another team this year. Not happening.
We've seen stranger things happen. I don't know. Schwab.
Yeah, you know, I was watching The Office the other day. The reruns airing on Comedy Central, and they were at the point in the series where Michael starts his own paper company because he was being disrespected by Charles. Idris Elba did a great job playing him, but he felt disrespected by the higher ups. And then I hear Rodgers' comments last night on Kenny Mayne's last Sports Center. And it reminded me a lot of that. And just like Michael Scott's character arc, this ends with Aaron moving to Colorado.
Okay, I like that.
Thanks for that riveting story. It means nothing.
Goddamn talent on this team. DJ, that's a hard act to follow, bro. What you think?
Jordan Love season coming soon. That's all I care about. Like, Shane right though, but Jordan Love season coming soon. That's all I care about.
He was dropping dimes today in OTAs, baby.
I bet he was. That's so easy.
He had a sick handoff to AJ Dillon too.
Oh, AJ Dillon. Nice. It's gonna look real good rolling up with that NFL 2022 season. That's
yeah.
And as Schwab said, did we figure out, as Schwab says behind them, did we ever figure out who wanted to kick that field goal? I really still don't think we got the answer to that. So.
We did.
The NFL, so all these teams now are back to, going to be full capacity this year too.
Mm-hmm.
So, we can start, like me and Mike, we were talking on our betting show about, how we were kind of picking games and picking futures, and it's basically signed, sealed, and delivered. You can expect Soldier Field to be full. Home field advantage is back. After last year, there was 0. Now it's back in full. And I think that's going to make for it's going to be wild, right?
I don't know. We're going to see. It's the drama that is the NFL. Speaking of, your boy, Julio Jones, did Shannon Sharp have him on the phone and he didn't know he had him on the phone? Like, what was going on with that?
Pathetic, dude. Absolutely pathetic.
Chime in, y'all. What we think about Julio? Julio going anywhere?
Yeah, Julio getting traded.
I just saw a meme with him. Where he going? And why didn't they trade him before the draft?
Because it's something with the cap and all that dead money. So after June 1st, it's only a certain amount of money that they would have to be entitled. Yeah. So if they wasn't, because they said that he asked for the trade in March, but they didn't want to eat all that money. And so, I mean, if you want Julio, the price tag isn't going to change. They would have just got another pick in this year's draft versus next year's draft. But the real answer is because Atlanta is a unserious franchise. So that's the real answer.
A serious franchise.
Yeah.
They're kind of halfway between, like, trading Julio now doesn't make you better. There's
Right.
no
Like, are
way
they going
get
for
better.
what are they doing?
No,
Are they,
no.
I agree with you. I agree. Like, I see what you're saying. Are they going
Nothing.
for, like, trying to win the Super Bowl or what? Like, I understand, like, you want to tear it down and do a rebuild, fine. But, like, you passed up on, like, a guy like Justin Fields because you think you can make a Super Bowl run with Matt Ryan, so you went and drafted Pitts. You know, I don't understand. Like, I don't understand what Atlanta's plan is, but, like, Julio is going to get traded.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, I am sincerely hoping. And me and Mike, we on our betting show the other night, I gave out a bunch of picks. I'm pretty much all in on the LA Chargers this year across multiple different plays. I want them to step up and go get Julio. Come on, do it. Find a way to go get that man. I don't want him to go like fucking New England and have Cam Newton throw the ball at his ankles or have Mac Jones throw it 10 yards over his head. You know, come on. I need the Chargers to get him for selfish reasons and, like, just, you know, Justin Herbert and Julio Jones, Keenan Allen. That's a dangerous ass offense. I would really like to see, like, just from a like a fantasy football type standpoint, throw him on that Chargers team. But, like, don't bore me and send him to, like, Washington or New England or something like that. Those were two of the teams that were named.
Who was the guy on Twitter that said the other day one of the reasons Julio wants out is because he thinks Matt Ryan has kind of lost his fastball on the deep balls, and, you know, what's he going to do? Go to New England and play with Cam Newton now?
Yeah,
like, that's going to make it better.
I don't know, but Julio got to stay healthy too. But he's an all-time great first ballot guy, and so it's just gonna be interesting because probably, like, at the end of this week or the end of next week, we'll probably know more because that deadline passed, and then we're gonna start hearing the whispers before he get traded. But like y'all said, nobody knows what Atlanta is doing. Like, nobody has a clue. I don't think they do either.
No, because it's not even like, okay, just playing devil's advocate here. Let's say that at number 4, they pass on Fields, they pass on Jones because they think Kyle Pitts is just, it's the value of a replacement position, right? And there's nobody who's close to what Kyle Pitts is going to be. They didn't even take somebody in, like, the second round. Like, go get Kyle Trask and keep them together, something. Like, they didn't even somebody that they could develop.
A serious franchise. It's kind of like I said.
Yeah, it makes. I don't understand what Atlanta was doing. I didn't really like the Pitts pick just from a team standpoint, not him necessarily.
Right.
I just
I get that.
What are you doing? I would have taken. I said if I was Atlanta, I would have taken Fields and just started over.
Yeah.
All
right. We're gonna wrap up. Catch us. Good if it goes jam. Good if it goes betting. Big Shoulders podcast all coming up. Shout out to Quality Media, Best TV, whatever the hell they call it. So now, we out.